everyone, this is Tammy from Tammy Colors 2. You probably know that because this is my channel. Welcome to Sachdeva Sunday, episode 2. I am so excited that we've made it to episode 2. We had a lot of positive feedback. I'll get better at making these videos as I go along. And I thank you all for watching and commenting. So this week, and you will have to apologize because I think my cats are losing their minds today. There may be some cat noises. Because there's going to be quote unquote playing maybe if the other cat can convince the other one. If one cat can convince the other one to pay attention. But right now, what's outside is more exciting. Anyway, that's the cat play-by-play. So, we are going to be coloring in Autumn Season ceramic tiles, color by number, by Prachi Dewan Sachdeva. Now, that being said, at the end of episode 1, I said I was going to give away a copy of Chibi Halloween and Spooky Characters by Sachin Sachdeva, as that was new. And it's a very, very cute book. There's a flip through on my channel if you want to see it. And I said to comment spooky, leave a comment and say spooky, and I'll enter your name in the drawing. And there were 3 people that commented. So, and I read through the comments like 3 times to make sure that I didn't miss anybody. Because I've never done this before. This is like my first giveaway. So, so this is, I mean, well, this isn't the book. This is my copy. I will be purchasing a new book for the winner. So I, since there were only 3 people, I just wrote their handles down on little sticky notes because I bought a thing of sticky notes and they're not very sticky. So, but that's okay. I use sticky notes for everything. Like, I'll do like little swatches and stuff on them. Anyway, that was an aside. So there are 3 people's names in here. And ooh, one fell out. So we're shuffling them up really well. And then we're going to pick one. If I could have my cat do it, I would. Closing my eyes. All right, so this one. So the winner is Susan Woodward Russell 993. So Susan Woodward Russell 993 needs to send me a message on Instagram or email me, tammycolors2@gmail.com, either one. My handle on Instagram is Tammy Niebling. That information is in the description of every video. I put the ways that you can contact me, my email and my Instagram. So as soon as you can, message me or email me. I need your address because I need to be able to send you the book. If you're comfortable with that, and I will send you a copy of the book forthwith. And next week we will be coloring a picture out of this Chibi Halloween. Congratulations, Susan. So now to this. Oh yeah, I can dump these out. I figured I would do that first, so if anybody didn't want to watch the video, they didn't have to. So I picked out the markers that we were using for this picture. The picture I said we were going to color. Oh, and I made my swatch chart here. I have a new swatch chart. I picked out one out of here. I said that we would be coloring this one. So let's take my marker off. Oh, I need a blotter page. Hang on. Let me grab one. I have tons of printed sheets that I'm not using and stuff like that. I use for blotter pages. Anything that comes out of the printer that's bad, or things that I'm not using, they get used as blotter pages. So there we go. And I have made my sheet, Arteza Everblend markers. Oh, I thought I would show you. So this is the picture that we did last week, because some people said, I mean, I know that some people know that the Everblend markers, like the first version that they did, yellow. And also, because of my experience with yellowing markers, every time I get a new set of markers that I am not familiar with, I color something with the picture, I color something with the markers in a book that I don't care about necessarily. With the markers that typically yellow, like the reds, the yellows, the greens, anything that has like a yellow in it, a tint in it of some kind would typically yellow, go figure. So I do that, and then I stick it on a shelf with usually a blotter page in between each side of it, so you can see. And this one I didn't stick anything in between here, but you can see that it did not yellow. I mean, it's hard to tell with my blotter page there, so I apologize. But this was also in there, and these pages do pick up the yellowing also, if they're in there. I've seen it happen. So this did not yellow at all. I mean, I'm talking about the protector, sheet protector will yellow. I have seen it happen. So I mean, you know, usually we don't care about the sheet protector. We can throw that away, but it does pick up color if things yellow. So these, the new versions of the Everblend markers, I mean, mine are a more recent set. I never had the original version. I can tell you Shuttle Art markers yellow. The Restly markers that I am in love with that I sent back because they yellow. I was very disappointed because those markers are awesome. They are exactly what I want, and darn it if they don't yellow. They're like the skinny, I did a thing on them, but it was probably like last year. They're like a skinny type of marker, and they have a brush tip. They're a little bit fatter than Teo Tree markers, but they're very similar in size, and daggone it, they yellow. I loved them. I mean, I thought about keeping them even though the yellow, but no. Anyway, that is my spiel on yellowing markers. So if everyone's ready, we'll get started on this page. Shouldn't take too long. Then we'll pick a page from Chibi Halloween for next week. I'm probably just going to pick one because there are so many things, so many cute pictures. Or I will do a random number and pick a page that way if I feel like I am not able to pick. Let's see, I forget how we did it last time. I think I just picked one that I liked. I can't remember what I did last week. All right, so I only have the markers in here that we're using in the picture. And why don't we start with the boots? 19 and 20. The boots are pink. Ooh, RPO2 and RPO7. One of my markers I might need to find a replacement for. I have extra markers. I think my blue is getting low, which is I'm actually excited about because I'm finally using up markers. RPO2 and RPO7. So 20 is 07. So how is everyone this week? It's so nice to be back. There was Sachin had a new release this week. Oh, I may have to find a replacement for my RPO7 also, which is good. This will be an exercise in can Tammy get replacements for these markers, because Arteza has not made me happy in some respects with their availability, shall we say. But I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Otherwise, I'm just not convinced that Ohuhu has the right refills yet, because they only have the most popular colors, and I would have to research. That's a good question. Does anyone have a color chart, or one of, occasionally Sachin and Prachi will do a different colors. Not all the books have the exact same color palette. It's very close. Over the years they have changed a little bit. I would expect that. But if anyone has a chart that they have done with Ohuhu markers, now preferably the chisel and bullet, but I'll take anything, because I think that the refills are, I can't remember, I don't know if the refill inks are different. They should all be the same. It should just be the marker body that's different. The inks should all be the same. I'm just not as familiar with Ohuhu markers, but I am going to get, when I buy them, it will be, if I buy them, the 320 set. It'll be the bullet and the chisel nibs that I get. But if anybody's done a color chart for a Prachi or a Sachin book, we know with the 24 colors, the standard 24 colors, can you share it with me? And or if you have experimented with trying to find out if they have refills for those colors, let me know. Because I don't need to have refills for all 320 colors. I'm just trying to build, a set of markers that I can go to for my Sachin and Prachi books. And I know y'all are getting tired of me doing that. Markers are frustrating, I'm telling you. And I've been using some of these markers. I've had these markers for 1.5 years. And I actually use them quite a bit because they're on my desk. So when I don't feel like, because honestly, I have the most of these. So I have the most variety of colors. So if I need to do something, I actually put them on my desk because there's so many. I have a giant thing, like the Arteza carrier. It's a generic one, for that you put like 150 markers in or something like that. I think Arteza did them first, but it's just a huge, and to me, it's not very convenient because I never want to take it anywhere, even though all my markers are in there, and all I have to do is pick it up. I can't remember how many artifies. My artifies are in there. And so I have it by my desk. But whenever I'm traveling, I don't want to take it anywhere because it's just so big. I already take too much stuff when I color and travel. So I never want to take my enormous set of markers, to be honest. Because I'm already oh, I've got too much stuff. I need to save space. But the cool thing about the Arteza markers is they come in packs of 5. So once for a color by number, that's kind of cool because you're getting plenty of ink because you're going to be using the same colors over and over again. And I like the idea of that. I also like the idea of refills. I know for Ohuhus you can get the nibs and stuff like that, although in the past I don't really like their brush nibs very well. And I've just colored with chisel and fine for so long, chisel and bullet nibs for so long, that the brush nibs kind of throw me for a loop at times. I don't know how to use them. I get messy with them. So there was a time when I actually thought about building a set of Copics, just 24 Copics to use in my Sachin Sachdeva and Prachi Dewan Sachdeva books. It'd probably be a little more than 21 since there's a few extra colors. It'd probably be about, or sorry, it'd be 24. It'd probably be, I'm trying to think of how the colors have changed. It wouldn't be much more than 24. There's a couple of books that have some different colors in them. Some have less. There's some do have only 21. It's been a while since I've looked at them all. So there's my pink boots. We got pink boots. Woohoo! And now I'm gonna do the sole, which is black, which is easy peasy. I just know I'm gonna get this black all over. So, how has everyone been this week? Have you colored any more Sachin Sachdeva since last week? I got his new one, the Halloween, Mosaic Art Halloween, which I'm very excited about. And I need to do a flip through of it, but I have to color a couple pages before I can do the flip through, so I'm trying to get that done. I'm going to try to get that. I need to try to get that up by tomorrow, like by Monday. So hopefully I can get those pictures. It's hard to pick because the Halloween is just so cute. Why are we all so enamored with Halloween? I know not everybody is, but it's just, is it because it's, you know, it's like the Addams Family. We all love the Addams Family, but if we knew a family that was like them, would we think that they were weird? Would we be afraid of them? Is it just because it's fantasy? Okay, boots are done. Go ahead and do this middle part here, which are my gray colors. So 22 is CG06. So yeah, the new, I don't know where to put it right here. This is the new Mosaic Art Halloween, and it's so cool, and it came out this week. I got it this week, and I gotta color some pictures in it, and they're also, I'm having a hard time deciding which one I wanna color for the flip through. So I guess my cat's decided not, oh, yeah, it's nap time. Of course it is. It's kitty nap time. For one of them. Anyway. I would say the older one, but he's only a year older. He's, let's see, 4. Domino is 4, and Scotty is 3. It's hard to It's hard to believe that they are so old. I mean, not so old, but you know what I mean? I remember when they were kittens and they were so cute. They're still cute, don't get me wrong. But you know, the kittens suck you in. Although, honestly, I didn't get Scotty until he was 6 months old or so. So, because my mom had him. I don't know, did I ever tell you Scotty's story? I can put a picture of Scotty, because he's not here right now. He's not... He's like, Mom, don't slobber all over me. He doesn't mind being held, but, you know, he's still young and very animated. And he's the one that talks. You know, as the saying goes, you have two cats. One's an angel and one is a hellion. And, you know, one of them is quiet and one of them is talky. And it's true. There's someone on Instagram that I follow, and I can't remember which handle it is, but she has like four cats, 4 or 5, and she's like, here are my cats, and what they're like, and they're all different. And she has an orange one. She has an orange long-haired one. She's like, he doesn't do strange stuff. He is strange stuff. And it's true. It's like cats are, you know, their fur color does really dictate their personality. It's the weirdest thing. The calicos, although my mom and dad have a calico who is not all that opinionated. Every calico I've ever seen is very talky and very opinionated about everything. And her voice so tiny. I mean, like, you barely hear her. She squeaks, but her looks are just, oh my goodness, she can give you the most disgusted looks. I'm telling you. And she's Scotty's sister. Her name is Lizzie. They were a pair. So Lizzie and Scotty, which my mom and dad have Lizzie, or Elizabeth, as my father likes to call her, they are COVID babies, and they were born in 2020. And my mom and dad had a cat colony that live in their yard because they are very kind-hearted. And Scotty and Lizzie were a pair of kittens that were born during COVID. And my mom, it was still cool outside, and my mom lets cats in the garage in the winter and the summer, and they have air conditioning for them and stuff like that. Go figure. But anyway, I mean, it's very nice. They're so spoiled. They're the most spoiled outside cats ever, I'm telling you. But anyway, so they, I'm looking for all the 22s so I can get them out of the way. You know, so being outside cats, as often happens, they got eye infections. And because my parents live in a small town and there's only one vet, and they couldn't get them in to the vet because it was COVID and it was kind of crazy. So they couldn't get them into the vet for a while. And so mom and dad did the best they could, and they finally got them in, and their eye infections were pretty bad. But they gave them medicine, and Lizzie's eyes are perfectly fine, but Scotty has scarring on one of his cornea because of the infection. He can see. Trust me, the boy could take birds out of the air if he was an outside cat. It does not stop him whatsoever. But for a while, they thought they were going to have to take his eye out or whatever, but it kept improving. So he has an eyeball, but when you look at him, you can see the scars on his cornea. And my mom was beside herself. She felt like it was her fault. And she worried about him, and she loved Scotty. I mean, Scotty was her baby. And she didn't know what she felt responsible for Lizzie and Scotty, and she didn't know what to do. And I had Domino, which I had gotten. He just showed up in their yard. He was not one of the kittens from the colony. He just showed up one day, which tends to also happen. And she's like, none of the other kittens will play with him because he's not from their litters. And I'm like, I asked my husband, because we hadn't had cats for like 3 years because I was devastated after my pair died after 21 years. And I had spent a fair amount of money on them. So I think my husband is a little gun shy because he knows that I will do anything for them. But anyway, so he's like, yeah, we can take him. So I told Mom, if you can catch him, I'll take him. And so a few days later, she got him, and I have a Domino, which I think I can put a picture of him here. And he was lonely, and he was young because he was born in 2019. He was a little whippersnapper when I got him. I think he was about 8 weeks old or so when I got him. He was cute. Oh my God. Domino is the cutest cat in the world, and he knows it. Knows it like crazy. And, but he doesn't like to be held. Domino does not like to be held. Although I've got him in therapy and we're working on this, so he's getting better. He loves attention though. But anyway, so he was driving me nuts. He would knock things off of the dresser when we were sleeping, and I about wanted to kill him. I mean, I had to train myself. Well, at one point I have an old antique dressing desk, and I keep my jewelry on it. You know, it has drawers. It's beautiful. It was my mom's, and she gave it to me, and I use it as a jewelry desk. And he would get up on it, which he's not allowed up on top of furniture, and he would knock things off. And it was because he wanted attention. He wanted to do something because cats are nocturnal and I'm sleeping. And I thought I was going to lose my mind. At one point, I had to put all the jewelry away so that there was nothing for him to knock off. I had to train myself that when I heard him in the middle of the night knocking things on the floor, because he wanted me to get up and chase him, not to get up, which was hard because by getting up and chasing him, that's exactly what he wanted me to do. So my mom didn't know what to do with Scotty and Lizzie, and they had one cat in the house. And I had Domino, and I said to my mom, and she had not mentioned bringing either one of them into her house, but she didn't feel like she could keep both of them. I mean, it's been a while. We had 4 cats in the house at one time, which is the most that we've ever had. When I was a kid, we had 4, which, if you didn't know, my mom, when I was a kid, did not believe in animals in the house. Only she had a daughter that kept going to the door and finding cats and wanting to bring them in. And there's a whole other story there. with the first cat that we ever had. Well, technically he was the second, but anyway, that's a story for another day. But anyway, so long story short, we had 4 cats in the house at one time when I was a kid, because my mom has a big heart and would take them in. And we had outside cats, or not my cats, as Michelle likes to call them. So yeah. But anyway, so I said to my mom, because she was worrying herself sick about these kittens and what to do with them, because she was so afraid to leave Scotty out because something was wrong with his eye, and she didn't want anything to happen to him. She felt like he couldn't take care of himself. And I said to her, I'm like, I'll tell you what, you figure out which cat you're taking, and I will take whichever one you guys decide not to keep. And I put it to her like that, because I'm like, I didn't think I could talk William into both of them either. So oh, shoot it. So that's how I ended up with Scotty. I got him when he was like 6 months old, so he was kind of big when I got him. He wasn't a tiny kitten anymore. And when he was a kitten, he did not have long fur. He had short fur. And it's funny because Scotty has he's my first long-haired cat, and his sister is a short hair and a calico and quiet, and he is a long hair and orange and white and very loud and boisterous and opinionated. And it's weird because you would never guess that they were brother and sister. But anyway, so that's how I got Scotty. And he's a challenge in himself. And Domino is like, can you sell him? Can you get rid of him? Because Domino is very quiet and reserved and proper and a princess. I call him a princess because he is. And I have 2 cats that are the opposite of each other. It's very annoying. Oops. 23. I found a 23 that I missed already right here. Don't you always miss a color? So I'll have to write down that I told Scotty and Lizzie's story. I won't bore you with telling their stories again. All of my cats have been rescues, meaning they have all come from the backyard of my parents' house. Technically, my first pair of cats came from kittens that were left on the church step, which, if you didn't know, my mom was a church secretary for 40 years. So there are stories there. Oh, I could tell you. She has some weird stories. You think that being a church secretary is boring? Oh my goodness. There have been some interesting stories, like the one time, because our church was built in the early 1800s, and the old building is still there. We built a new church and sold it to a different church, so the old building is still there. It makes me sad. I never wanted to move, but so the church that they built is kind of up on the hill behind a shopping mall with Kroger in it. It's up on the hill. There used to be an old barn there, and they tore it down and built a church. It's a nice piece of land. There's a housing complex on the other side. So it's up there by itself, and there's a highway, or not a highway, but Route 23. I mean, it's a 4-lane highway, I guess, runs through Waverly. So it's up on the hill, so you would think that not so many people would end up there, but there's the stories. Oh my goodness. So her door to her office, like the hallway, is on one side, And there's also a creek down there on the backside of the hill. And one day she went to go outside to get the mail or something, and there was a clown sitting. There's a like a storage chest sitting right by the door, and that they would put things in, like canned food in and stuff like that or whatever. And she goes out the door, and there is a clown sitting there in the hot sun. It was in the middle of summer. And shocked by this, she's like, "Can I help you?" And he says, "I just wanted to rest here for a moment. Is that okay?" And she's a little bewildered, but she's like, "Sure." And so she left him, and she said he was kind of breathing heavy, and I forget if she asked him any other questions, but she went out a little bit later, and he was gone. And it's just like a man dressed as a clown was there. I mean, come on. That's weird. That would that would get me. I don't know about you. Then there's the people that would, I mean, because it is up by itself. I mean, there's housing complexes and stuff like that, but I mean, there's really nobody up there. There's a big parking lot and everything, but there's apartment buildings on the way. The road has an easement through, or it's just a road, but really the only thing is apartments and the church, when you get to the end of the road. So it's not like you would go through there for any reason other than to go to the parking lot of the church. And so there were people. I mean, my mom was there like every day, and there were people who met in the church parking lot in a truck to every day, the same people. I won't tell you what they were doing, but you can leave it to your imagination. And my mom figured it out, but for a while she's like, "I don't want to say anything because I don't want them to get mad at me. I don't want them to come after me, And I'm like, every day? I'm like, it's crazy. And they would, in his truck, yeah. I mean, she didn't, they would park at the back of the parking lot, and she was in the building. So it's not like you could see, but it's what they were doing. Because eventually in the story, the cops do get called after this has gone on for a while. Because I'm like, Mom, they're not supposed to be doing that. It's kind of not kosher, especially to do it in a church parking lot. And so they called the cops, and the cops actually did see, he walked up to the truck and yeah. So he got enough to charge him, trust me. And then I think they never came back after that. But that went on for a little while. It was a fun set of stories, let me tell you. All right, I think I need to go see if I have a replacement for this B17 marker. So let me go look for that. I think I need one for this one too. Yeah. So let me see if I have replacements for those, and I'll be right back. Okay, I did find a new spare blue marker. I do not have a spare pink one, but all that was left were those flowers, so I finished those, and that's all. And I think I've discovered from looking on to find the availability of these. Either they're changing things up and there'll be new ones available, but the open stock ones are down to 3 different colors. So I don't know if I can depend on these. So we'll see. It's going to take me a while to use them up, but I may have to have another plan. I'll go to my Artify markers. My only problem is most of the sets of markers don't have good blues and purples. Blues and purples are hard to come by. Either, you know, and I realize it's finding a color to match what the artist has, and I'm just weird about that. I try to match it, probably too exactly, if I have to say. It's weird because when I'm matching the colors, I'm fine, but I mean, like, I do it exactly, but I mean, there are also times when I'm just like, I'll just use this color, it's fine. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with myself, but we'll solve it. We'll just keep going from marker set to marker set until we get happy with what we have, right? Eventually there will be happiness in the marker world, right? Oh, there's 22 and 23. I missed those. I'm looking for 12s. 12. There's 12 right there. And a 12 here. Okay, so I wanted to do my grays since I missed them. Where did the gray one go? Here it is. So 4 is the dark, 6 is the light. Oh, what did I do? I missed one over here. 22. Did I miss any more? Man, I am just missing colors. This will be interesting. I can't wait to see, now that we've got these colors done, how the rest of it fleshes out. Alright, so I think I've got everything. Now, we'll do 14 since it's in the middle, which is BG04. This one. I think I did this picture because I'm not quite ready for fall. I mean, I am, but at the same time, there's so many summer things I didn't get to do. I'm always behind. Let's see, 14. Trying not to be too messy. So, like, I discovered that at some point this past week, I discovered the newest season of Call the Midwife was out. So I consumed that rather quickly. I think it took me 2 days, maybe. Because, like, as soon as Call the Midwife is out, I am devouring the seasons. And then, oh my goodness. So many years of change. I keep wondering what's going to change in the next season. This season was really good. It, of course, made me cry in spots because I'm just so attached to the characters. And it's the things that she reads, you know, the things that she says in the beginning, the narrator, who is actually Lynn Redgrave, I believe. Those things are so, like, I wish I could just write them all down and remember them forever. So much of it is just so poignant. But as with most British TV series, there are not nearly enough episodes. Ugh, just kills me. I know, we in America are used to seasons with like 22 episodes, and there you get like 8. Like, no, I want more. I need more. There's so many things that we haven't explored. There's so many answers that I need, so many questions I need answered. But my mom was watching Suits, which I had never watched before, and that's on Netflix. And so she kind of got me into that. Of course, when I was down there, she was watching in the middle. So I kind of started watching it in the middle, and now I find that I want to start watching it from the beginning because I feel like I missed some, although I don't often have to do that with series. Sometimes if I get frustrated, I'll just watch like the last episode, because a lot of times I'll find that I'll get frustrated and then won't watch the last season of something. I've discovered how many times that has happened in my life. Like, I haven't watched the last season of Enterprise. Enterprise? Yeah. I haven't watched the last season. Oh gosh, there's so many things. I'm trying to think. What shows did we watch? Once Upon a Time. I haven't ever finished that one. What was the one? Grimm. We never finished the last season of Grimm. I don't know why. I think I get kind of frustrated because I don't want to know. I don't want it to end. I don't know. I'd probably need therapy is probably what I need. Let's do lavender. 16 is B17. 16. Ooh, we got some little lavender flowers. I have a feeling each one of these is going to be like an hour long, no matter how hard I try to make them shorter. And I can't figure out how that happens. Oh, here. 16, there's a big one. Just trying to find all the small spaces before I switch ends. Let's see, so what else? We've been watching, like I said, Father Brown we started, which is fun. We finished Night Agent, which is really good. My mom was telling me to watch that one for a while. I really enjoyed it. Actually, I made my husband is not a binge watcher. And I'm okay as long as I can deal with not knowing what happens till the next day or whenever, because usually we'll only get to watch TV while we're eating dinner. We have a tablet that we sit on the table. But we had 4 episodes left, and I made him. I'm like, can we just sit and watch the last 4? Because I couldn't stand not knowing what was going to happen. I mean, because they did such a good job of not telegraphing what was going on in the whole show, Sometimes I was wondering if they didn't kind of maybe not telegraph enough. I mean, it was good. I mean, I had no idea for a while. I finally figured it out, what was going on, but it was not easy. Not easy at all. And then Virgin River is on, which I'm a little tired of Mel, to be honest. If anybody watches Virgin River. it was good, and I was really into it, but I'm just getting tired of Mel and her character not growing any. Like, I got tired of Blue Bloods and Danny not growing, his character not changing. But I'll still go back and watch it. So I don't know, y'all can suggest shows, you know, based on, I watch a lot of murder. A lot of murder. Let's do Mustard, which is 8, which is Y24. I think I can do all of these on the small. I should even see, like, if you're in frame, because I do have it zoomed in a little bit. So I don't know. I suppose everyone's ready for fall if I ask. I'm just not. I think I burned myself out on pumpkin spice last year. Oh, crap. That was supposed to be a lighter yellow. That's okay. Fixing can happen. Nobody's going to notice. I'll just do this really quick and see if we can lighten it up a little bit. If I can get enough ink to flow down there, it will. Okay, we'll see what that does. Well, since I have this marker out, we'll just do 7. Why waste time switching markers when there's plenty of color with this one? One of these days, I will learn not to be so messy with my markers. I'm trying. Let's see, what else? It's cool. It would be cool to know, like, where everyone that's watching lives. I mean, I live in the eastern United States, in Ohio, and the weather has been beautiful lately. Even though I think this week it got back up into the 80s, but still. That's a 7. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, 7. What else? We are still continuing. I know I talked about watching Doctor Who. We are on Tom Baker. I can't remember what season we're on. He just got Romana. Romana is his companion, and they just finished the Planet Pirate or whatever, if y'all remember. That was fun. I liked that one a lot. So we'll see what's next. Can't remember if we started a new series. No, we finished with that one. And so now it's time to start a new series, a new story. Story is the word I'm thinking of. Let's see. So we can do 6, which is YR04. We are getting, there's lots of oranges and pinks in here. Let's see. Did I? Oh, there's like a 6 down here. I missed this. So I don't know what 2 is. Oh, 2 will be a brown color. Let's see. No more 6s. No 6s out there. All right. Am I missing? Oh, 8. 8 was mustard, which I missed. Missed this one. let's see. 17. Are there any more two? Oh, the twos are all around there. 17, 21. How many 21s are there? Just one or two? Well, we'll do that then. YR19, 21. Oh, it's R39. This one. So we'll just do this really quick. Since there's only those two spots, and that's it for that. So why don't we do 17, which is purple, which is the darker purple. So when you guys work in the ceramic tiles books, if you have any, how do you do it? Do you randomly pick an image? Do you work from front to back to front? I'm just curious about your approach. Do you change the colors on the outside? All right, 17. Almost done. And then there'll be a brown frame on the outside. I guess when I use up so many of these markers, I'll have to start using them for mandalas, and that's it. Since I can't get the colors I want. Like I said, maybe Arteza is revamping their stuff, and I haven't heard. I should ask them. I mean, they were pretty responsive when I asked them questions before, you know, about getting, of course, the sets of markers I wanted were discontinued, so I don't know. Oops. A little bit doppy there. Okay, got all the 17, so now we're just down to 2s and 3s. So we'll do 2, which is the red brown. Is that one BR14? Yep. So that we can do this leaf down here, and then the entire picture part will be done, and we just have to do the frame. And there's my cat. I can't figure out when things show up on the video, because I know sometimes you can hear things when I go back and listen, and sometimes you can't. I think this one is a lot pinker than I thought it would be. Oops. What do you want, babe? You want me to open the window? Probably. I swear, his life is so boring. So boring for Scotty. I need to go play with him, I think. Oops. Make sure I'm kind of holding back the crease here because it's kind of the way it's folded. I guess I need to break the spine to color better there. Oh, shoot. Keep going out of frame. All right, last color, number 3, which is YR19. Where is YR19? This one, because I grabbed it by accident. Let's start up here. And then I can, well, I'll do the hard part first. We'll do this side because this side's harder because I have to hold the thing in. Well, I appreciate everybody joining me for another Sachdeva Sunday. I mean, we'll be having fun. It is really fun, actually, to sit down and do this. I just haven't had a lot of time lately, which it's kind of sad. But I have to make time. I need to make some cards. I just don't know if I'm gonna have time to do them. I need to make my husband a birthday card. And I just don't know if I'm gonna have time to do that before we have to go somewhere. But I'll try. I'm just like not, I have like a die cutter and it takes me, cutting all the dies out and putting things together. I mean, like, they don't tell you how long it takes sometimes, but I suppose you just get better at it as time goes on. You just got to do it. And I guess I wish I just had somebody to do it with. But anyway, look at this. Let me zoom out just a hair. That way you can see the whole picture. And there you go. So that is today's picture. It's pretty. I kind of like the brown, how it ties it in. It is not the color I expected it to be, but it's really cool. So there we go. A finished picture. So now, next week, how am I gonna do this? Do one of these. Oh, well, yeah. So because I think I'm gonna have to do the Sachin Sachdeva video earlier than normal because of the things I have going on. I won't have time to have people vote or anything like that. But I'm gonna do this one. Because why? Because it's a wizard with a dragon, and I think it's cool. Of course, you can color this one with me, or any of the other ones. Oh, he's cute too. Crap. Or the skeleton with the color is the skeleton 21 peach. The skeleton might be fun. There's a cat. There's a cat in the audience. That's hilarious. There's that. There's the moon. Yeah, that's fun. Oh, so many pictures. Food. There's a bear. That's a vampire. Well, that's kind of cool. Oh, I don't know. Boy, tough. Oh, the owl. The owl is cute. The scarecrow is cute. I don't know. Why don't we do the owl? I think the owl is cute. I think a lot of people would enjoy doing the owl. It's kind of folly and mysterious. So we will do this one next week in Chibi Halloween and Spooky Characters, color by number or non-color by number, whichever one you have. I've got my sheet out. I just got to pick out. I'm already working on Artify markers because I decided I needed to go to a different set of markers. So that is that. Thank thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Congratulations. Don't forget, the winner of the Chibi Halloween and Spooky Characters book is Susan Woodward Russell, 993. Congratulations. And hopefully I will hear from you. Hope y'all have a great week, and I will see you on the next Sachdeva Sunday. Bye.